SGP 1 Comprehension Questions 1. Who are there in this part of the story? Answer. A son-in-law and a man from his village are there in this part of the story. 2. What was the son-in-law's plan? Answer. The son-in-law's plan was to visit his in-laws' house for the first time. 3. Who advised him about some do's and don'ts at his in-laws' house? Answer. A man from his village advised him about some do's and don'ts at his in-laws' house. 4. Make a list of all the advice. Answer. Do's. Use big and high sounding word in in-laws house and always sit on a high place. Don't say no to food give to you. SGP2 Comprehension Question 1. What type of word did he use in speaking? Answer. He used long and high sounding word in speaking. 2. What did he tell his mother-in-law? Answer. He praised his mother-in-law by saying that she was the sweetest, kindest, greatest and gentlest lady. 3. Was she happy? Answer. His mother-in-law was indeed happy. 4. What did she do? Answer. She praised her son-in-law in front of her neighbors for using high sound and appreciating her. 5. Where did the son-in-law sit? Does the sight make others laugh? Answer. The son-in-law sat over a paddy sack pile. Yes, it looks funny. 6. What did he say when the rice pudding was served? Answer. He refused to have the rice pudding. 7. Did he want to eat the pudding? Answer. Yes. When the 2-3 drops of the pudding fell on his plate, he started it. The delicious taste of the pudding made him to want to eat the pudding. 8. Where was the pudding pot kept? Answer. The mother-in-law kept the pudding pot on Sikai high place. 9. Could he eat it? Answer. No, he could not eat it. SGP 3 Comprehension Question 1. What happened when the son-in-law tried to get the pot of pudding? Answer. When the son-in-law tried to get the pot of pudding, it fell on his head. 2. What did he look like when he turned on cotton? Answer. When the pudding fell all over him, he was smeared with rice pudding like gum. To dry it off, he slept on the cotton mat, and this made him look like a lamb. 3. What are the two funny sides? Do they make you laugh? Answer. The first attempt of the son-in-law to dry the rice pudding stick to his body made him look like a lamb, and when his first attempt was failed, he stayed in a cow's shed with the lambs. These two are the funniest sights. 4. Where did the in-laws find him in the morning? Answer. The in-laws found him in the cow shed in the morning. 5. Who thought him to be foolish? Answer. Everyone thought him to be foolish. 6. Why was the father-in-law angry? Answer. The father-in-law was angry because his wife cared too much for his son-in-law and neglected him. SGP 4 Comprehension Questions 1. Why was not the son-in-law willing to go home? Answer. The son-in-law lived in comfort at his in-laws' home, so that made him not willing to go to his home. 2. Who went to bring lemon from the garden? Answer. The mother-in-law went to bring lemon from the garden. 3. Why did he beat his mother-in-law? Answer. The son-in-law thought that the person plucking the lemon was a thief. He didn't know that it was his mother-in-law who was plucking the lemon, so he beat her, thinking that it was a thief. For what made him leave for his home? Answer: he was ashamed of his act of beating his mother-in-law, so he left for his home. 5. Is there anything funny in this part? Answer: yes. The son-in-law beating the mother-in-law without checking once is the funny part. 6. Was his father-in-law happy? Which expression or words in the next tells you so? Answer: the father-in-law was very much happy when his son-in-law finally left the house. The father-in-law heaved a great sigh of relief. This line clearly tells how much happy he was. 2. Comprehension activities. A. Choose the right answer from the options. 1. The son-in-law was not advised to watch the garden. A. Use big and high sounding words. Sit on the high place. Watch the garden. Say no to the food given on him first. 2. The son-in-law thought it would be impolite ask for pudding. Impossible, important, impolite, impatient. Impolite is right answer. 3. Everyone except the mother-in-law thought him to be foolish. A. The father-in-law, the mother-in-law, the brother-in-law, and the sister-in-law. 4. The father-in-law planned to drive out the son-in-law because his wife took too much care of her son-in-law, neglecting him. A. He sat on a high place. He beat his wife. He ate all the rice pudding. His wife took too much care of him. Son-in-law neglecting him. B. Match the part number under A with their content in B. A. B. Part 1. Son-in-law plans to visit. Part 2. Follows the advice. Part 3. Suffers for foolishness. Part 4. Leaves the in-laws' house. 5. Vocabulary. A. Some words in English are made by joining in-laws after them. For example, father-in-law makes 5 more words in this way: mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, daughter-in-law. B. Rewrite the sentences using look like. A. 1. At sunset or morning the sun looks like a big ball. 2. The girl looks like a princess in her fancy dress. 3. Cloud in sky sometimes look like elephants. 4. The clear blue sky looks like an umbrella. 5. Her face looks like a moon. Session 7. A. Son-in-laws is a long word. The head word is son. When we changed son-in-law into plural, it becomes sons-in-law. Singular 1, plural many. 1. Son-in-law, sons-in-laws. Daughter-in-law, daughters-in-laws. Father-in-law, father-in-law. Mother-in-law, mothers-in-law. Brother-in-law, brothers-in-law. Sister-in-law, sisters-in-law. Match the word in A with word in B. Words in B are opposite in meaning. Write the serial numbers of words in the boxes. 1 is done for you. 1. High, low, pleased, displeased, polite, impolite, careful, careless, fortunate, unfortunate, fresh, rotten, dry, wet, foolish, clever, innocent, guilty, comfort, discomfort, willing, unwilling, kind, cruel. Writing. 1. The right answer to the following questions. Answer. The story is about a foolish man who ended getting in trouble because of his stupidity. 2. Who advised him what to do and what not to do? Answer. A man from village advised him what to do and what not to do his in-laws' house. 3. Why did he want to have pudding? Answer. As per the given advice, he first said no to whatever food was given to him. When 2-3 drops of the pudding fell on the plate, he tasted it and wanted to eat it. 4. Where was the pudding kept? Answer. The mother-in-law kept the pudding on the sikka, in other words, on a high place. 5. What happened when he tried to get the pudding? Answer. The son-in-law was very much tempted by the pudding, so in the night he tried to reach the pudding pot, which was high, in his attempt to get the pot. It fell down and the pudding smeared on him. This made the pudding stick on him like glue. 6. Why was the father-in-law angry? Answer. The father-in-law was angry because his wife cared too much for him and neglected the father-in-law. She made the son-in-laws comfortable in their house. 7. Who planned a trick to drive him out? Answer. The father-in-law didn't like the foolishness of the son-in-law. The son-in-law's comfortable living at their house made him not to go to his house. This made the father-in-law come with a plan to drive him away. 8. Why did he leave the in-laws' house? Answer. To drive the son-in-law away, the father-in-law planned something. He told his son-in-law that their lemons are stolen by thieves every night. He asked him to keep an eye on the thieves and watch them. At the same time, the father-in-law wished to waterize and asked his wife to bring a fresh lemon from their plant. When she went to pluck the lemon, the son-in-law, who was keeping an eye on the thief, beat her with club. He mistook the thief with the mother-in-law. He thought that the person plucking the lemon was the thief, and when he realized that it was his mother-in-law, he felt ashamed. His act to beating his mother-in-law made him guilty, and that is why he left the in-laws' house. 2. Stated below what the father-in-law said to his friend after his son-in-law had left. Read what he said and fill in the gaps consulting the story. Do you know how I drove away the son-in-law? He was foolish, but my wife thought him to be innocent. She gave her delicious food every day, and she neglected me, so I thought of a plan. I asked my son-in-law to watch the lemon tree. I gave him a club to beat the thieves. I asked my wife to bring lemon. When she plucked a lemon, the son-in-law beat her. He felt ashamed coming to know that he had beaten his mother-in-law. Out of shame, he left my home. I breathed a huge sigh of Do we laugh at the fool or his foolishness? Answer. We laugh at his foolishness of the son-in-law. It was his foolishness that landed him in trouble.